what is great is I of course know how the movie ends. I've seen it a few times, but it renews, it makes it fresh. And what I think is beautiful with the movie, now it's 20 years, and back then, obviously, it's a movie, it's not a big movie, it's $19.3 million. And the idea was, we fabricated everything. We made the furniture, we made the props. And now it feels so handmade that it's very moving for me to re-encounter it like that. I think many of you must be artists. And I think it's to reaffirm that what we do is important. What we do is important, what we do matters. It heals us, for sure, but it also talks to other people that need healing. That's not an app. You know, you need to talk to other people that are in pain, that feel an absence in the world for them. And I think, to me, that this movie was always that. It was like a message in a bottle for souls that were similar, you know? And I think, unfortunately for us, historically, the world needs to talk about this again. You know, it was relevant 20 years ago, and unfortunately, the scariest thing right now is the news. So we have to talk about many things again, and amongst them, what makes us human, and what makes us humans is the stories we tell to each other about each other. So this movie gets released October 9th, which, as I said repeatedly, is my fucking birthday. So I hope, I don't know what you youngsters do, like do tic-tac or whatever fuck you do. Come out, if you loved it, if it moved you, if it renewed your pact with the movie. Tell all the other young wild bohemians out there, and shout it, and I'll see you in theaters October 9th. Thank you guys. Have a great Comic-Con. Hola! Thank you for standing room only, because we wanted more people to come in. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for waiting. You guys are the first people to see the 3D tests for Pans Labyrinth now. And you know, how this came to be when we did Pacific Rim. I was very tempted to try a 3D version. The best version of Pacific Rim ever, if you ever have a chance to see it, is IMAX 3D. It's absolutely insane. It's like a different movie. And what I learned there is, you know, I talked to Jim Cameron. I said, how did you do it? How do you advise I do it? And he said, you have to take a few hundred days to do it really slow, do it completely thorough, and or I'll kill you. and because he is a big, you know, Nolan believes in the film, you know. I believe in handcrafted stuff. Jim believes in 3D. Each of us is on a quest that is different, you know. But most directors I hang out with are on an interesting quest. When I saw Pacific Rim, I said, God damn it, we should have shot it that way. It is a beautiful way of resurrecting your pact with the movie. So when the time came for the 20th anniversary of Pans, I know we're going to do a new version. We color corrected it again. You're going to see, the footage you see is the new color correction. Then I said, well, I'll pay for a new layer of sound. I want to remix it again. I want to up-res it. I want to do everything to transfer it again. Blah, blah, blah. And then I said, you know, what I really would like to do, since I'm paying for it, you know, Cineverse, I'm paying with them. I said, I want to at least do a test with two scenes, one in the real world, one in the imaginary world, in 3D. And if it convinces us, it blows us away, we do the movie in 3D. And the two scenes you're going to see, I mean, the other day I saw already 70 minutes of the film, so we're going bit by bit. But what you're going to see tonight is the two scenes that we tested, and we went, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah, woo!
Which means that you're going to see something we saw that convinced us. Which means that this is not a marketing strategy, it's not going to end up neatly. My hope is this, when we saw them, I went, can I see more? So you're gonna go, look, it stopped. feel free to do that. My other hope is that you go, I haven't seen this movie. I haven't seen that movie. That you feel that it makes it again new, theatrically, you know? That you come and do that with us. And I shoot that way anyway. I shoot with a lot of foreground crossing the lands. Things come very close, things go away. That's the way I shoot the movies anyway. But what happened to me is I've never, of all the world, I've never been able to enjoy Pans Labyrinth. Because making the movie was so fucking hard that to me, I suffered so much. It was really difficult. It was, filmmaking can be pretty brutal. This was really brutal. And it was always like watching a family movie gone really wrong. I go, oh, that's when my uncle left with my cousin. They crashed the car. Like, and now I see this footage that you're gonna see, these two little scenes. By the way, it's quick. You're gonna be out of your fucking ass on the street in 2 seconds. You know? But I saw it and I said, I like that movie. And the other day I saw the 70 minutes and I said, I want to see that. So I hope it does that for you. Now, the other philosophy, and this is important for me to say, is they said, well, we can do it in this amount of time, and we can do it in this amount of time with AI. And I said, fuck AI. I'm paying, we're paying for it, so we're gonna pay to continue making the decisions handmade by humans. What you do is every decision, you know, what you do, I don't know how much you know about conversion, but you have to rotoscope every element. Sort of, you remember those things that they used to do in my Catholic church? They grab that postcard and cut things and move them to different planes. Then we saw them in the kermesse. Well, they do that. Somebody goes and cuts out the rain, the sparks, the mist, the characters. The font was really complicated because all the branches and all, that's why it's one of the tests. And it's on by hand, and then you do experiments in depth. So I said, all right, let's use it creatively. You know, in the movie, the real world is straight shapes and cool colors, like greens, cyans, blues, grays. And the imaginary world is warm colors, gold, red, round shapes. So that is used expressively anyway in the movie. So I said, well, let's try to do the real world sort of 2.5D, and then the fantasy world really deep. You know, so we can see why she feels different in one of those two.
Yes.
So you're gonna see that it's gonna be uninterrupted. It's gonna be like boop, and then the next one. This is what Convenience does. I hope it convinces you. Let's watch it, and then we'll talk again. I'll come back.